Alright guys, what's going on, guys and gals? Alright, so it's just gotten nastier and nastier out here. Let me show y'all what I got going on. I went ahead and did kind of a Mickey Mouse, but it'll work. It's a practice jump ramp, takeoff and landing ramp. I'm not sure about the pitch on this. I'm hoping it'll be good, but we got it stable. You know, it's of course the redneck version. Not much to it. A couple of pieces of wood, part of a tough shed, and I drilled a couple of holes and put some rebar down in there so it wouldn't move. It's pretty stable, man. And then I used a mat, a carpet here, and then I dug a trench so it will go down in the trench, and the carpet extends out past it, and then some dirt on top of it. So I'm gonna take off ramp and just used a normal burn barrel here. Not sure about the distance. You know, this isn't for huge air and all that. This is just for me to start practicing. And I got my son-in-law Braden bringing me another mat for this one. Probably put two here and here so I have more, because it may slide on this. I used a little bit of Flex Seal, but as you can see, it's not staying on. So anyway, guys, that's it. I put this mat here so if I come up short, I'm not going to hit the barrel. I'm going to hit this, and then again with the dirt at the end, and I leveled this out a little bit more here. So we're going to give it a shot today, even though it's wet out here. Not going to run any more of my platforms other than the Hyper 7. You know, after all, it's the most durable platform, and we'll clean it up when we get done. So we're gonna give it a shot, man. See if I can try to, I don't know if I get water on here or not. Sorry guys, but we'll give it a shot. I lined it up pretty good here. This landing ramp may need to come over a little bit, but we'll see what we can do with this to try and practice. And then by the time my servos come in, I can hook up with my brother from another mother, you know who you are, from RCHQ. We can hook up and go to the track together and help each other out. But this is just something for me to do, to practice and to get better at my jumps and controlling the platform in the air, bringing it down. I fully expect to smash head into that barrel right there, but we'll see. So I've got this one set up on my DX 4C instead of my 5C. I need to switch it over to the 5C, but I love this controller, man. I always had great success with this 4XDC. But I wanted to show y'all, buddy of mine, shout out to you, you know who you are, Roger, and he bought the same one where Muggy met this guy out there in the field, and he had that red Losi 8 Truggy that he said was not an RTR, it was a kit. Well, I hate to tell you this, Mr. Muggy, but that RTR, your buddies, that whip of your buddies is an RTR. They're the original 8Ts that came out, the 3.0s with the, they came with a bump box. They came with upgraded parts, upgraded aluminum shocks, upgraded metal turnbuckles, the works. It came with a bump box. I think it came with the DX3C, the silver one, and a bump box. So that by far was not a kit, but it's the closest thing to a kit in an RTR form, that's for sure. But I hate to tell you, sir, that was an RTR as well. Just goes to show you don't know everything that you claim to know. But anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. So this came with it. This isn't the original bump box that came with that RTR, but when my buddy Roger bought the RTR the other day, it had it also came with the Losi 454 engine. I have the same engine. It's one of the Nitro Nerds' favorite engines, the 454 Losi. But it came with a bump box. This is not the one that came with it, but Roger didn't need this one, so I gave him 20 bucks for it. I appreciate that, Roger. It's a badass. This is an authentic, original Offina box. It's for the Hyper 7, basically. It does have a 12-volt sealed liquid acid battery that I'm using in it. It's got a single 775 motor, and it's got different places for your wheel. It doesn't lift up like this, like the normal ones. This is old school, man. And I think the guy de-anodized it because I think the original Offina box was blue, but I kind of like this silver part. But so you can see right there, Offina. This is an original, authentic Offina box, and I'm psyched up about it. I love it, and I'm going to use it specific for my Hyper 7. It's all set up here. It rests here in the rear A-arms, and everything's set to go, man. It's got a new wheel. It's got a new belt. Everything works great. So, wanted to show you all that. 20 bucks, man. I couldn't pass it up. But basically, sets in like so. There you go. And the little hooks in the back, they hook into the A-arms here and here. And then you just bam, down, right on the wheel. So, badass off in the box. Shout out, Roger. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Alright, we're going to do some ripping here. But before we do some ripping, I want to go ahead and go in the nitro barn here and touch on a couple of things that Mr. Bodegel talked about in his video. He unboxed a couple of really badass nitro engines, including modified Pico Boost 0.28. As y'all know, I have the same exact engine. Not modified through Rick at RB, but modified through PS, which PS stands for Power Secrets, and it was modified with lightened AMR internals. So this engine right here is one bad mother sucker, man. And Mr. Bodegel confirmed that. He also confirmed that certain people out there that are talking about mods and Lance and RCR and all that are full of shit, is basically what he was alluding to. And that person doesn't know it, not Lance, but the person we're talking about, I'll say his name, Muggy, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about when it comes to mods. And, you know, Mr. Bodegel already insinuated that Muggy probably screwed up that P3 himself, that it had nothing to do with the modder. So, anyway, he also said that the P3s, Pico P3s that the Muggy is getting modified are the lowest. They're the lowest of the barrel when it comes to Picos. They were not that good, and that's probably why it broke. That and the Muggy's crappy tuning. That's probably why he damaged that nitro engine. But he definitely said that Mr. Bodegel said that this Pico Boost was a badass engine. The only thing that concerns me is one thing he touched on was not to use a Novorossi Rex plug. And that kind of upsets me because when I first got this, the Muggy and I were talking, you know, we were on good terms somewhat, and he said you have to run the Novorossi Ultra, I think it's a CTFG Ultra 6, number 6 plug. And he never told me once that I needed to find and run a Pico plug in this. I specifically asked him what plug I should run, and he told me to run the Novorossi plug. Well, Mr. Bodegel specifically says not to run a Novorossi plug. Well, you can't find a Pico plugs. I've been looking everywhere for them. So, John, I know you have me blocked, and I think you have me blocked. I've never done anything. I've never gone against you. I think that I have you blocked because of the Bones Byron's fuel war that was going on. I still stick by my Bones, but I've always respected Mr. Bodegel. I've always talked highly of him, thanked him, shouted him out, all that. So I don't know why he would have a beef with me, and I don't know why he would condone or respect or represent what the Muggy Maniac's doing, because Bodegel's never one to put people down. You know, he's never been one to single people out and put people down like the Muggy does. So it doesn't make any sense to me why Bodegel would back up the Muggy Maniac. So personally, I think that Muggy talking to Bodegel, like he says, I talk to him at least once a week and we get along well, and I think that's a crock of shit. I think that Muggy is lying about that, and I don't appreciate the Muggy giving me the wrong information about what plug to run here. But this is not going to be a Muggy bash video. I just want to say, people, don't trust anybody. Go do your homework. Find out the facts before you do it. I definitely wouldn't trust this muggy maniac character. He just says what people want to hear when it comes to his knowledge of 1/8 scale nitro and sealed back plates. I don't think he knows shit. In fact, I've gone back. Me and a buddy of mine, shout out, you know who you are. We talk all the time. We went back and we looked, and I don't think the muggy's done 1/8 scale sealed back plates any more than maybe a year and a half or so. He's not as schooled in it as he makes people believe that he is. So be careful who you trust, people. Be careful when it comes to that. But basically, I want to say I'm going to be getting, I want to find out if anybody knows where I can get a Pico. It's a Pico P6 medium plug. I can't find them anywhere. I'm going to shout out to my brother, Brent Bones, and see if he can locate some for me. But I've only run one plug in here, one Novarosi plug, so there hasn't been a lot of in and out. So I want to find that Pico plug, and I'm going to try not to run this until I do. I mean, I can run it with this plug, just not take it in and out. But then I'm not going to be able to do my after run. So it'll probably sit until I can figure out if I can get a P6 Pico plug for it. And if there's not a P6, what plug is comparable to that is good to use? So basically, going back to the Bodegel thing, I know that we had a beef on the bones and all that, John, but I've always represented you and I've always respected you. So that's the only thing, is I was trying to get a fuel that's just as good and that we could actually afford, and Brent does that for us. And you know as well for yourself that Bones is a good fuel. But anyway, if you see this video, John, and I know you probably will in passing, but or if someone can relay on to him, I need to find that Pico P6 plug. So if anybody can hook me up on that, or John, if you see this, if you can get back to me and let me know where I can get it, I would much appreciate it. And shout out to Mr. Bodegel, man, for the guy that really keeps it real. Not that other jackass muggy maniac who really doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I feel, I haven't only been in sealed back plates for 6, 7, 8 months. I don't even know how long it's been. However long it's been, y'all go back and you can see yourself. But it hasn't been that long. I've soaked it up. I've learned a lot from watching other people. Definitely not watching the muggy maniac, because that dude cannot tune worth a crap. But you know, I've picked up a lot of good pointers and good things through videos from like Mr. Bodegel and Average Joe Nitro and Corey at TTR Racing and Little Chili, man. Little Chili's got a badass video on single stage idle. He's got a lot of good videos, man. So shout out to you, man. And that maintenance video from Corey over at TTR, man, I immediately went and started checking all my hinge pins, and they're good on the MB 48.4. Everything is tight. But if y'all remember, I just did these front ones when I broke it doing techno football. Yeah, so these are all good. I think here on the truggy, look, that one is really loose, so I need to work on that one. This one's not as bad. And the rears are tight. But yeah, do your maintenance, just like Corey said, man. Do your maintenance. The maintenance of your whip is just as crucial, if not more crucial, than the actual tuning of the engine. So so you guys see, I have a brand new Pico P5 here. This is my third P5. The first one is in the Hyper. We're going to run out there in a little bit. The one that I'm sending to Rick, I'm going to mail it out tomorrow on my way to work. This one's going to RB Mods to get modded. And then hopefully tonight I'll be able to order the Rex 28.8 and get that mailed directly over to Rick as well. I'm getting 2 engines done by RB Mods. And no disrespect to the Muggy and Lance over at RC Renew. RB Mods he's a good modder, man. Don't let this jackass steer y'all in the wrong direction, man. Take advantage of the Bodegel 50. Get you some modded engines, man. A lot of guys, especially like myself, that couldn't really afford to have it done. Like you said, you got to buy the engine, you got to get it modded, you got to do all that. If you do an LRP, you got to get another carburetor, you got to do that. So there's a lot to it. So this Botagel 50, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to be able to get 2 engines modded now instead of 1. So I'll have 3 modded engines, and that's all I need. I need 3 modded engines, man. And we're going to have this one stock and the one out there stock. So we're going to be breaking this one in here pretty soon. We're just going to keep this stock for the track. And then we're going to keep the other P5 Limited over here. This has less than a gallon through it. We're going to keep that stock as well. As far as the 8T, man, I don't give a shit what Mr. Muggy says, man. People go through diffs. He acts like he's never had an issue before in his life, man. He just hasn't had an issue that he's shown you on camera because he's embarrassed. But you got to know, man, he's tore up diffs as well, man. And that's what this is. This is a tore up diff, and I ordered the 4.0. It's actually the 3.0 diff right here. We're going to redo it. I thought I could get it done. I thought I had it done with shimming of it, but I think it's just too far gone. It's too wore out. I screwed it up. But and I've never had really a center diff issue. Way back in the beginning when I first did my techno, I had a problem. But you guys got to remember, man, I'm still pretty new at this. I'm still a newbie, so I'm learning, man. But I'm trying to learn from the mistakes that I make. That's the difference, man. And definitely, if I've been in 1/8 scale sealed back plates for 5 years, like some people say they have, I'd know how to tune. That jackass can't even keep his stuff running. Anyway, man, that guy gets me fired up, man. He talks a bunch of crap. He goes up against people that are really our mentors, like Mr. Botagel. How dare you go up against John, man? How dare you think you know more than that guy? No way, man. I'll never listen to anything you say, Muggy Maniac. Never, ever, ever. Forget you, man. Lose my phone number. Stop calling me and bothering me, bro. I'm not going to make up with you, man. Right here, TLR 242012. That is the part number for the rear ring and pinion gear set 8T 3.0. This is what you can use in your RTR right here. And speaking of RTRs, and I hate to keep going back to this, dude, but that contest, yes, Floyd Brewer, but it's a Muggy. My point is, if you don't have a Muggy, you don't have a chance. So why enter anything else, man? Guy's stupid, man. Anyway, this is what you need for it. Ring and pinion 8T 3.0. I've got one ordered. We'll get it in here. We'll get it back together. I was running the LRP stock ZR.32 Spec 4. We were running it, and it's pretty dialed in, man. I got money on it right there. As y'all know, in one of my last videos, I sealed this motor. It's the first motor I've ever sealed. I sealed the back plate and the carburetor. And you guys, if you seal these engines, don't think you can't get them apart, man. All you have to do is heat it up with a heat gun, and it will come apart. You just have to use a heat gun to heat it up. So if you have a sealed engine and you can't get a back plate off of it, heat it up, undo the screws, heat it up, and it'll come off. No worries. And then you just clean it up. If you don't want to seal it next time, just clean it up, and you're a done deal. But this one, I sealed the back plate, the carburetor, and the carburetor clinch screw. The clinch screw is the one that goes in that holds the carburetor down tight. Don't over tighten that too, guys. You can mess up your carburetor. But anyway, so once we get the 8T back together, we'll throw the LRP in there and start ripping it. This is my real basher right here, man. I mean, I'll bash the Techno. I'll bash any of my whips. In fact, I was on the way out the door to bash this Truggy, but it's just, man, I don't want to run it in the rain, you know. It's no good, man. It seems every time I have a day off, it's wet, and I can't run anything. But anyway, man, shout out to Mr. Botagel. Appreciate you. Look up to you, man. And I always will. But, I mean, I don't always agree with everything that you do, but I respect it, unlike some people. So look for that P6 medium plug, the Pico plug. We'll break this in for the track, and if it ever clears up and it dries up, we'll go bash the Truggy and see if this thing can fly. So right now, guys, we're going to go out and test out those ramps. Even though it's wet outside, we're going to get the the Hyper 7 a little bit wet, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. And by the way, guys, I never have to take up for myself. I don't give a crap what anybody else says. You can say anything you want. It is what it is. The proof is in the pudding, man. Don't think that I ever have to take up for myself from anything that Muggy Maniac says, man. That guy is a jerk. He treats people terrible. He talks down to people. If you don't have a whip, you're a scrub. It's bad for the new guys. It's bad for the newbie. Muggy Maniac is bad for the newbie. And that's the only reason I come back and say anything like that, man. Otherwise, I could just go forward and not say crap. But and I don't give a shit what that guy says, because it doesn't matter to me. He's beneath me. So, well, he's not beneath me. You know what I mean. He's always trying to make me look bad, and I'm not going to put up with it. It's no big deal. All right, guys, let's go rip this Hyper 7 with the Pico, or the Novarosi P5. We'll see you all in a few minutes. All right, guys. So, yeah, it's it's really raining right now. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do any practice jumps today. That sucks. I could go ahead and run it. I mean, it's not that bad, but I don't know. It's raining, man. I haven't even fired it up yet. I was warming it up, and it just started getting a little bit heavier. What would y'all do? Screw it. Fire it up. Fire it up. Fire in the hole. I'm not used to this thing. Right there. I like that new off in the box, man. Alright guys, time to get a little wet. I like that box. Shit. Tree. I don't know guys if the lens is going to get messed up in here. We're going to be able to see or what. It's really raining, man. Missed the whole ramp. I gotta get a little higher. We may have to get them a little closer. Yeah, we're gonna have to get it closer. We don't have enough runway space. Let's try that. P5's running good. A little rich. Not a lot of control in this mud. Yeah, not a lot of control in the mud. Pretty good tune though. Shit. No control in the mud, man. No control in the mud, guys. Uh-oh. Alright guys, lost a tire. She's running good. This is what you get when you run in the rain. P5's running excellent. A little bit rich, but she's running good, man. That's no good though. This is the Badlands that came with something, but anyway, came unglued. I didn't glue these, somebody else did. This one's coming off too, look. Alright, well, let's get everything cleaned up, bottom dead center, and I'm not gonna run anymore. I'm glad I didn't run the I'm glad I didn't run the, yeah. Am I missing? No. What the hell? Alright, well, I'm glad I didn't run the Techno today. This Hyper 7, man, for an RTR, people, if you're a newbie, this RTR Hyper 7 with just a couple of upgrades. The only thing I upgraded were the 7075 aluminum steering knuckles, and I put the SS shocks and the SS tank, and that's it, man. That is it. Throw some Badlands and a Novorossi in here. I've had Novorossi 28s in here. I've had 32s in here. I've had all kinds of engines in here, man, and it takes it. This is the original body too, and it's starting to wear. But if you go back and look at my Hyper 7 Learns to Fly, I was putting this thing 20-30 feet in the air, man, and no issues. I mean, it did have an issue. I broke an A-arm, Yeah, I didn't break the A-arm. I broke the chassis, the uh, chassis braces, front and rear. They're like dog bones, so that's a bad design. When you hit hard, they pop out. So the front popped out, and it bent the front drive shaft. So I had to replace that. And I bent the other one back straight, but we use it as a spare. But man, dude, Hyper 7 is top notch, man. Alright guys, we're gonna have to wait till everything dries up to do anything else like this. But I think it's a good ramp. If everything was dry and not so slick and muddy, then I probably will have a good chance to learn how to control my buggy in the air. It's just everything's wet, man. The ramp is wet past the mat, and but I think it's a good setup to practice and to learn. Shout out to my brother, Family Affair. I haven't looked, but I'm gonna go look at your upload here in a few minutes. I think haven't seen you in a while, man. So like to see. But I think what I can do with this, guys, is I have a couple more of these side pieces. I'll get another barrel and we'll make it wider. Could probably do the same thing with the ramp. We'll make it too wide. That way it's easy to hit and easy to land. Because on a track, you know, it's going to be a lot wider than this. This is kind of thin. So I think I'll double it on both. I'll double this one and that one. That way it's a lot easier to hit. And remember, the goal on this, guys, is to learn, you know, platform control in the air. So when you're out on the track, you can learn to turn in the air. If you hit the brakes and turn the wheel, you know, your vehicle can actually pivot in the air to make that turn. You guys know that. But you know, for a lot of the new guys out there, just like me, I'm learning a lot of new things. And one thing that I want to learn right now is how to manipulate my buggy or my truggy mid-air. How to manipulate it into a turn from a jump and things like that. How to land a ramp. I'm just a little bummed that it's raining, man. I'd love to keep running this thing, but it's just not going to happen, man. It's wet and it's nasty. It's miserable. So maybe we'll go in. I'll get this. Look at that. We'll go in. I'll get this thing cleaned up, and maybe we'll break in that new P5. But stoked about this authentic Afina bump box. Heavy duty, man. Great bump box. I love it. So it took me a few minutes to learn how to charge this sealed acid battery. You know, it's your basic, like a Power Wheels battery or something like that. On your charger, you got to go to the PB setting and then set it to whatever, you know, 12 volt, 10 amp hours or whatever it is, and charge it that way. I figured it out. Just, man, you can find anything on YouTube. That's how I found my buddy, the Muggy Maniac. But all kidding aside, guys, listen to people with proven track records. Don't take the advice. Don't listen to people that are just, you know, think they know what they're talking about. RB mods, I've never had one modded there. I go by on Mr. Bodigel's recommendation. RB mods is a good modder, and that's where I'm going to send my stuff. You know, everyone is going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to have, you know, you do 1,000 mods, you know, you may have one or two customers that aren't happy. Or like the washer thing in the back of, I think it was Don Foss's. It's an honest mistake. You shouldn't make the mistakes, and I'm sure that Rick from RB Mods took care of Don Foss. I'm 100% sure of that. So, alright guys, that's going to be about it. We're going to clean this beast up. I don't know, I may throw a set of tires and come back and do it some more. It's already muddy. So, we'll see. We'll see y'all in a few minutes. I'm out. Alright guys, she's already wet. Go on. She's already wet, so let's keep running. Keep doing it. Put the Chinaman tires and wheels on there. kind of subsided a little bit. And I don't know how much y'all can see. How about there? Alright guys, gotta fix it. Pulled the upper toe link out. Gotta bring the idle up a little. She's a little rich. So let me fix that, and maybe we'll do some more, man. She's already muddy. She's badass though.
Huh?
Alright guys, let me fix her up and we'll may do some more, man. Chinaman tires. Idle's really low. Chinaman tires though. This is the only thing that happens on this all the time too. Is they pull out your A-arms. They just screw in there and they pull out all the time. But I got tons of these extras, so let me get her back together and we'll probably come out and do some more ripping. It's crazy, man. It's my only day off though, guys. Don't look down on me. Yes, she's muddy, but when you race at the track, man, they water those tracks down. You come back looking just like this. So, ain't no thing like a chicken wing. Alright, guys. We'll see y'all in a few minutes, man. I'm out. Alright, guys. She's already wet. Go on. She's already wet, so let's keep running. Keep doing it. Put the Chinaman tires and wheels on there. Buggy's running real rich. Subsided a little bit. And I don't know how much y'all can see. How about there? Alright guys, got to fix it. Pulled the upper toe link out. Got to bring the idle up a little. She's a little rich. So let me fix that, and maybe we'll do some more, man. She's already muddy. She's badass though. Alright guys, let me fix her up, and we'll may do some more, man. Chinaman tires. Idle's really low. Chinaman tires though. And this is the only thing that happens on this all the time too, is they pull out your A-arms. They just screw in there and they pull out all the time. But I got tons of these extras, so let me get her back together and we'll probably come out and do some more ripping. It's crazy, man. It's my only day off though, guys. Don't look down on me. Yes, she's muddy, but when you race at the track, man, they water those tracks down. You come back looking just like this. So, ain't no thing like a chicken wing. Alright, guys. We'll see y'all in a few minutes, man. I'm out.